everything. Good. All right, good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday morning, July 29, 2020, and I'm headed into work for the day, and I did it. I finally did it. I trusted my gut, went with my instincts, and I finally won. So, today's Wednesday, right? As of Monday, closing, stock market close time, 4 p.m. or whatever they call it, my option contracts were down 40%. So I bought in my stock at $208 a share was when I bought my puts. And so I bought it 208 and it went up. It's been going up and down or whatever, but it's been mostly up above 208. So so Monday it closed at $212. So the big reason why was yesterday was my company's earnings report. So the quarterly earnings report came out, and I think people were trying to get in before the earnings report came out. Of course, makes sense. They were prospecting or thinking that it was going to do good. The earnings report was not good, which I don't know why anyone would think it would be good with COVID going on. So like I said, Monday at close, the stock was worth $212, and because when it goes up, and I was holding put contracts, my put values were going down, my put contract values. So Monday close, my holdings were negative 50% or something like that. No, not even kidding. So I spent a little over $4,000 on these contracts, and they were down $2,000. The earnings report came out, and it was terrible. So it closed at 212 Monday night, and it ended up closing yesterday at 193 or something like that. I don't think I've ever seen it drop that much. So when I sold my puts yesterday, they sold when the stock was worth somewhere around, they were worth somewhere around there's a police officer over here doing something. I'm not sure what they're doing. Sold somewhere around 195.96. I think it was 196. So I sold it to lock in my profits. I knew that it most likely would go down a little bit more, but dude, like, so when I sold at a 40% profit. So I was down 50%, and in a day, not even a day, within hours of the opening bell yesterday, I sold at a 40% profit. So that means, like, what is that, a 90% movement? That's insane. Insane. I don't get it. So it's all good, but so yesterday I went to withdraw around $1,800. So I made between $1,700 and $1,800. I made about $100 on other trades, so I was cashing out about a little over $1,800. I got a text message, or I woke up to a text message today. Instead of doing a withdraw from TD Ameritrade, I did a deposit. So instead of taking out $1,800, it took $1,800 from my checking account and put it in a TD Ameritrade. And I'm like, oh shit. So I got an overdraft warning. Not that big of a problem. I have Chase as my bank, so they don't really care too much. So yeah, I fucked that up, and I I admit that was I've done that before. So TD Ameritrade, it defaults to a withdraw, or I'm sorry, a deposit transaction when you go to that page, when you go to the transfer funds page. But so I need to, as soon as the money hits TD Ameritrade, I need to do a withdrawal, a proper withdrawal, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But so yesterday I bought into some stocks, like something like $3,000 worth of stocks or so. But it was saying that my balance, so originally my balance was like 11,800 or something like that. So I withdrew $1,800 to keep it at a $10,000 balance. And for some reason, it was saying after I did the withdrawal that my account was worth like $1,300. So I don't know if that's because of the deposit that I did, or if it kept splitting everything up. It said, oh, I have 10,000 something in cash and $3,000 in positions held. So I'm not quite sure. Usually I thought it combined it into one net balance. So I'm not exactly sure. So I might have an extra a few grand, but probably not. According to my math, it's not right. I don't know why it's displaying it like that, but I finally won. So I mean, I'm already looking at buying some calls for my stock because it dropped so much. It dropped 8% yesterday or something because of this announcement, or this bad earnings report. So it's down to like 193. And if it dips even more, I'm going to start buying some long-term calls, and I'll just do the same thing. I'll bet that it goes up, and then when it goes up, I'll bet that it goes down. I don't know. So, you know, I did about 30% of my portfolio was these puts, and I just added like, so what did I add? I guess I added an additional 30% or more to my portfolio by locking in those gains yesterday. That's insane. So I'm getting better at being more patient and trusting my gut, because I mean that's what it's come down to. Is I've always known what it's going to do, but when it doesn't do it right away, I get spooked or freaked out, and that's where I got to work on. That is the patience part of things. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm thinking if I could get some calls next week. Oh, that guy almost got T-boned by a ambulance. So I have right now I have $1,500 on credit card bills, and I'm cashing out $1,800. So I'm gonna be able to pay off my credit cards. I'm gonna have an extra $300. I'm gonna put that into a bucket, a savings bucket for the gun club. So if you guys remember, the gun club is a yearly expense. It's like $500. I want to have a dedicated fund, or whatever you want to call it, or savings bin that'll hold that money, because at the beginning of the year when that expense hits, that sucks. Having to pay, you know, $500, $600, or whatever it is for a subscription, no bueno. So I want to do that. My next winnings and earnings, I'm going to try to not charge up more shit on my credit card, but my next winnings I am going to put on getting a crown. So I'm getting a new crown. I think it's going to cost me like $800 or something like that out of my pocket. So what I need to do is start socking away some money for that. So that's coming up this upcoming month here. So I mentioned it before, my whole goal and ambition with this stock day trading is to build my own ATM system. So for those of you that don't know, an ATM is a machine here in the United States. Well, they're global, but you put in a debit card and you say, all right, I want some money, and it gives you money back. It pulls the money from your account, but that's what I'm going off of. I want to keep a base amount of money in my trading account, and any profits above that, I'm going to treat it like an ATM. I'm going to take that money out, use it for bills, for things that I want, for saving, taxes, whatever, but that's the goal. And I want it for another source of income is what it comes down to. It's going to be another source of income, and it has been. I mean, this fucking thing is paying my bills. So I don't, if that's not like a job or a business or whatever, I don't know what is. So I'm super, super excited about this. I can't believe how how much money I made this year. And it's one of those things where I just I'm gonna keep it rolling as long as I can. I gotta protect that seed money with my life. So I can't be spending like a sailor and then hoping that I do better trading or whatever. I need to trade, make profits, and after that, then cash them out and then spend it, save it, whatever I want to do with the money. But I need to do the good first before digging a hole and then hoping I can fill it back in. So I'm gonna dig myself out of that hole. I spent an embarrassing amount of time yesterday playing Fortnite with Grant. Basically all day that I was working. But I'm getting better. There's a lot more to it because there's this building aspect to Fortnite. And I had my turn signal on, lady. So with the building, so like it's a first-person shooter, but then you can also do like you build up like all these structures. So there's like a flat wall, and then ramps, and then you build up like 90s and stuff like that. So there's all these sorts of things that you can do to basically isolate yourself from other shooters and stuff like that. So when people are trying to shoot at you and all that, you build walls and all that to separate you from these other people and all those sorts of things. So it's pretty cool. It's definitely like a learning curve type of thing, especially with the building. So with the building and all that, it adds a whole different element to it. I mean, it really does. It's crazy because you can't let me put it this way, you can't just be good at shooting and running and gunning. If you're good at building is almost more important. Let me put it that way. Building is almost more important than being a good gunfighter, so to speak. So it's interesting because I get my ass worked. You know, being an old school gamer gets me to the end, and then at the end it's all about building. When it's all just the good guys left, they build these massive forts and structures high up into the air and all this stuff, and it's insane. Like, it's insane. Like, I get on these teams, right? So I'm like level 30. I get on these teams with these guys that are so good, they're like level 150 or something. And and this is just this season or whatever they call it. I don't know. So they've been playing longer than that. But they'll be across the map, and I'll use my mic up like, hey guys, I need some help, I'm getting shot at over here. And like, I'm like, wow, these guys are far as shit away. And then all of a sudden, within like 5 seconds, 2 or 3 of my teammates are right on top of where I was. Like, I'm on a mountaintop. They're coming in on like a fucking boat, like up the mountain and shit. And like the stuff that these guys do is insane. It's absolutely insane. I'm like, huh? Like, you guys weren't even anywhere near me, and all of a sudden I call for help, and you guys are like, fuck yeah, dude. And you're there, and you're stomping the shit out of whoever was messing with me. It's insane. So I want to be good, but I don't know what I'm doing in terms of building, and that's the thing that sucks. Apparently, a lot of people are saying that playing on a computer, a PC, is detrimental to the building process. It's harder. Now they call it a playground mode that you can enter into, and I can't figure out how to get into that, but there's like supposedly these playground things where there's these levels or maps that you do, where you can practice building and you can practice editing. So editing is if you build walls, any walls or structures type stuff that you've built, you have the option to edit it. So meaning you can change what it looks like, change the type of wall it is or whatever. And I think it's faster to do an edit than to build like a new section of wall. So people might just build a solid wall and then they'll go back and edit it and change it or whatever. So like from my understanding, you can only build like a vertical wall, a flat floor or ceiling, stairs, or like a cone, which is kind of like a roof. It's like a square cone roof. So from my understanding, you have to start with building all of those, and then after you've built that, then you can edit it and do, like, they call it like a Dorito. You can put a window, you can do a door, you can do like a triangle. There's other types of structure type stuff that you can convert it over to after it's already been built, I guess. So I'm trying to learn how to do that. There's supposed to be this playground mode, which is exactly what I want, where there's not people shooting at you, you're not getting your ass handed to you, and you can practice your skills, because like these guys, they just like wiggle their cursor or their mouse or their screen or their crosshairs, and they're just like building and building, and like it's insane. And it gets to the point where they're building so fast and so quickly that even though they're not looking at the enemy, they essentially or practically know where the enemy should be, because, you know, all right, I built this much, it took this amount of time, and that guy was running that way, he's now over here, or whatever. It's incredible, the talent with this. You know, and guys are doing like weird building tricks, and I'm like, what's the point of that? I know there's a reason. We watched a couple videos, and I'm like, oh, okay, they say to do this, and it blocks the other guy from being able to come up or chase after you or whatever. And there's a lot to it. So I guess the more experience I get, the more time I spend playing or whatever, I'll figure it out. I just need to figure out how to get into the playground mode. So playground mode used to be a thing last year, and I guess they brought it back. I just can't figure out in the goddamn game how to get to it. Like, because now there's creative mode. There's all these different types of things to do and stuff. So yeah, but I cannot believe I won yesterday. So, and if I actually have $1,300, so let me think about that. So if I had $11,800 and I add another 18 to that, that's $2,800. That's where I got that extra money from. So I had $11,800, and it went up to 13 whatever because of that deposit. That's what it was. So that sucks, but I knew something wasn't right. I just couldn't quite figure it out. So it's all right. So there's no fees to do money transfers and all that sort of stuff, and it's the 29th, so I should have enough time to wait for that deposit to clear into the money to add into my TDA account, and then I should still have time to pull it back out to pay my bills and stuff. So my credit cards are due at the beginning of the month. So no harm, no foul. I just got really excited. I'm like, wow, it's 13,000 instead of 11 or 10,000, because I went up with a deposit instead of down with a withdrawal. So no worries there. So we'll see. I'm gonna check my accounts or my business stock today. I'm hoping it dips even more. So like I said, it closed at like 193. If it doesn't rebound today, I think I'm gonna just buy up a call option, and I'll buy it out into the future. I'll buy one into the money or something. I don't know. We'll see. And should be good. So stay tuned.